Hi, my name is Katie and I'm a professional makeup artist. Today I'm here with our model Ainsley and we're going to be working on achieving that flawless foundation for your wedding day. And foundation is probably the most important thing because when your skin looks fresh and healthy, everything else is going to follow. First, let's talk about brushes. A lot of people don't know, should I use my hands or my brushes? I usually recommend using a brush. You're going to get a more professional look, but there's no problem in taking your fingers, your #1 tool, and using them to blend the color into your face. So depending on how much coverage you want, you're either going to want a firm flat brush or something a little fluffier if you want a lighter coverage. We're going to do this flat brush because we want to make sure that we're covered for the wedding day, and then we'll use our fingers to blend out if the product gets too thick. We've pre-blended the perfect match for our model Ainsley. I recommend going to a department store, trying a couple different brands, and finding a foundation formula that works for you and one that matches your skin tone. So we're going to be using a liquid foundation today, and we've found the perfect color for Ainsley. And how we figure out that this color is a perfect fit is by touching a little bit in a couple of different areas on her face and seeing if it disappears into the skin or if you need a lot of work to blend it in. And I usually test in a couple different places, so I might test closer to the eye, on the forehead. It's not uncommon for someone to have a little bit of discoloration and maybe be darker on the top of your forehead from sun or around the frame of your face, and in that case you use 2 different foundations and blend the 2 together. This is great because it's a little bit of a yellow undertone, so it cancels out a lot of the pink that she has in her cheeks. Once we know that we have the perfect foundation, we're going to want to make sure the skin is prepped and primed for foundation. So we've moisturized, we let the moisturizer soak into the skin for about 4 to 5 minutes, so you don't want to just go right from moisturizer to primer to foundation, you let your skin absorb that. And now we're going to start with a very thin layer of primer. We're going to use NARS primer today. This is oil-free, it's long-lasting, and it's going to keep her makeup on longer looking fresh. So just a little bit. This is actually probably more than you need. So we're going to put that on our Petri. Grab a firm flat brush. We're going to use this for both foundation and primer. This is going to be great because of the shape of it. We can get right into those tiny crevices of the face. Right here, around the eye if we need to. We can also pack the foundation on if we need to build the coverage, but it's synthetic, so it's not going to absorb the product. This is one of my favorite brushes. It's by MAC. I highly recommend it. So we're going to start with the primer. Less is more with all products in makeup because you can always go back and add. Starting in the nose, we're just going to spread this lightly over the skin. And once again, what's great about primer is it makes your makeup last longer, and it makes it stay in place, and it hides imperfections. So any little fine lines or pores that you don't want showing while you're walking down the aisle, these you can get rid of with just a little bit of primer, just like that. Even if I'm in a rush and I'm on my way out the door, I do primer and a little powder because it's going to make your skin look smoother and it's going to make that powder last longer. Now we're going to go in with a little bit of foundation. And I always say start with less because you can add more. If you put too much product on, you're going to spend a lot of time taking it away. So I put a little bit on our brush. Sometimes I like to bat it off on the back of my hand like so. And we're going to start where you want the most coverage, which is typically in the center of the face. And then we're going to blend it outwards, just like so. And if you don't need foundation everywhere, don't put it everywhere. Because, if you're going to stop here, why not stop here or there, So I say if you don't need it, let your natural skin shine through. It's going to look more natural and more dewy. As your wedding day goes on, I'm sure you'll have a couple glasses of champagne. Maybe you'll start dancing. And if you feel as if your makeup is moving, it's just a little bit of oil and sweat coming through. And that's when you need to call on your bridesmaid and make sure she has some kind of finishing powder that she can just dust on in your T-zone to set the makeup. I usually recommend that over your mineral powders or foundation powder because instead of caking on, it's just going to absorb a little bit of oil. We're using liquid. There are also powder and cream variations of foundation. I usually like to set my liquid with a powder so that you're not too dewy, too shiny, and then you can always go back in and add more shine with a highlight later. So we're just going to take a little bit of this mineral powder. This is a MAC product. I love it because it is a baked mineralized powder with a little bit of silicone in it. So it's skin smoothing and it hides pores. And we're just going to dust it where we don't want to shine, just like so. And that is how you apply foundation for your wedding day. Thanks for watching. For more great tips, click on the links. And if you have a special request, send us an email at requests@mahalodotcom. See you next time.